Speaker, today I rise to honor Martina Correia, who passed away recently from breast cancer. Martina was a courageous and inspiring woman who proved what President Obama has often said, quote, "In the face of impossible odds, people who love this country can change it." For decades, Martina fought for human rights in defense of her brother, who was sentenced to death based on unreliable eyewitness testimony that was later recanted. Martina's brother, Troy Anthony Davis, was on death row for 20 years until his execution this year. Thanks to Martina, people rallied around Troy's case and began to really think about how it is that a society such as ours can execute a potentially innocent man. Inspired by Martina, a diverse array of men and women in the United States and from around the world, people like Amnesty International's Laura Moy, NAACP President Ben Jealous, Reverend Raphael Warnock, pastor of the historic Ebenezer Baptist Church, where the Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. Once pastored, British MP Alistair Carmichael, former President Jimmy Carter, Pope Benedict XVI, and a large group of other distinguished leaders from around the world whose names are too numerous for me to recognize at this time. These folks banded together to fight for Troy Anthony Davis's life. From her humble roots in Georgia, Martina led this international campaign, brother, and prove his innocence. Martina advocated for justice and fought to save her brother's life, and in so doing, she became a death penalty abolitionist in the movement to move America to renounce and abolish the death penalty, whereupon America could finally join the ranks of the other industrialized nations of the world that have barred the use of this barbaric form of punishment. She became an international human rights advocate, and it will in part be due to her efforts that we will one day cheer the abolition of the death penalty in this country. I will remember and thank Martina when we reach that milestone in our development as a nation and as a people. Martina fought this battle for her brother while fighting her own battle with breast cancer. You see, she was diagnosed with breast cancer 11 years ago, and at that time she was given 6 months to live. She beat the odds and fought to stay alive so that she could fight for her brother. Before her diagnosis in 2002, Martina was a nurse, and she was also a veteran who served her country in the 1992 Gulf War. Martina's illness eventually forced her to stop working for a living, but she continued to advocate for what was important to her. In addition to her work on behalf of her brother, Martina also was a leader of the National Black Leadership Initiative on Cancer, where she advocated for a cure. Her mother, Virginia Davis, died in April 2011, shortly after her son, Anthony Davis, suffered defeat on his appeal. Martina is survived by one